Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is November the 6th, 2022. Hopefully, you're having a good one. I would say the weather in Ohio is pretty nice right now, actually. I don't know, blame it on the global warming. I don't know what it is. Felt like it was kind of colder for parts of October, and then it kind of warmed up, and it's kind of just staying warmer. So that's kind of neat. I will say though, I'm so used to the changes that like I want my hoodie time now, I guess. So, when I'm hearing it's 60, 70 degrees, I'm like, I don't care. I'm wearing this hoodie. I don't care if I have to take it off. So I don't know. I'm a bit of a flux, but I should appreciate it. But I was complaining about this at work, and literally my coworker just looked at me like I was weird, and I was like, "No, y'all right for that. I'm wrong here." Let's see. No food corner. Hopefully, I'll have something better to report, either here or on a bonus episode. I don't know. I'm not eating. I'm not eating well. No, I'm actually eating fine. I'm fine. I just haven't eaten anything worth talking about yet. I feel. Um. Well. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. This is still mucus fog. It's betraying me. I do have a food corner. Let's get into it. Um. I actually doubled down on pizza yesterday. Yeah, I doubled down on pizza yesterday. I started off at a place. I'm getting it wrong. It's like Manilio's. I never had it before. It's like a local place to me, and I was like, all right, let's go, let's eat it. And I finally went. I got a 10-inch pizza, pepperoni, with a side of garlic bread with cheese. It was pretty good. It was fine. I enjoyed it. They did a thing where they have the pepperoni under the cheese, so there was that. But yeah, it was good pizza. But I don't know what it was. I was chilling in the house all day after working, and I was just like vibing. And it got to like around like 10:45, and I was like, you know what, I could eat again, pizza. And I did. I went and ordered some Domino's and picked it up, and I got a, what is it, a medium sausage pizza and a Philly. They had a little deal, and I used it. It was pretty good. So there you go. What am I saying? I was tripping. Like I said, I was just fog. Um, but yeah, I totally ate, and I'm gonna eat more. So I, I'm more or less back, but you can probably hear I'm a little stuffy still. But we're marching along. Speaking of marching along, we can get into this news. I got the first bump from The Guardian. Two teenagers killed Spanish teacher over bad grade. Iowa prosecutors allege. Uh, Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale accused of beating Nohima Graber to death when they were 16. They will stand trial as adults. So this was, I don't know. It was a story that went through my news feed, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Over grades, though. Like, what? And I didn't really have too much time to cover it, but I was like, okay, I'm going to get it in here since I got time, this weekend. Let's just make it happen. So, I mean, I just really couldn't imagine feeling that way about my grades, that I wanted to do that back in high school. Don't get me wrong, I was good at two shoes. I would say that. I mean, I was a Christian kid. I was really trying to do the straight and narrow stuff. So yeah, like being good at school was something that was important to me. But I realized, especially by the time I got into high school, like this isn't that important. I just need to do well enough so that I can get into college, and then I'm going to be fine. You know what I mean? My life will progress, everything will be okay. But I can understand the the crazed energy maybe you can get when you just make this your whole life of being good at school and like having high grades, because that's going to open all the doors for you. Everything's going to be better for you, and you just have to do it. But I mean, taking it to the extreme that you kill your Spanish teacher, that's wild. So I guess the way this kind of went down. Also, this is Fairfield, Iowa. I just want to put that out there because that's like there's a Fairfield, Ohio. So don't want to get confused. This isn't a local story or anything like that. But I mean, I guess it could happen here, but it didn't. Um, but I guess they met up with her after school to discuss it, and then I think she like they met up in like a park area, and I think that's where it went down. And then um, the kids drove off in her van, and they took her to like a rural area, dropped the car. They found her on November 3rd of 2021, and she was hidden under a tarp, um, wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. She had been beaten to death with a baseball bat, and Miller and Goodale were 16 at the time. So, um, let's see. When they were like rounded up, I think they tried to kind of. I'm trying to think which one it was. Let's see, yeah, Miller. Miller initially denied any involvement in Graber's disappearance, but later stated he had knowledge of everything but did not participate. This is according to court documents. He told the police that the real killers were a roving group of masked kids, and they forced him to provide his wheelbarrow to help move her body and drive her van from the park. I mean, this kind of goes to show how haphazard they were about it. Like, they're using his own wheelbarrow. Like, the idea that you're going to get away with this is insane. The idea that you needed to do this is even crazier. It's really sad. Like, they are going to be tried as adults according to Iowa law, whatever. Um, let's see. Yeah, Miller is scheduled for trial on March 20th in Council Bluff, and then Goodell's trial is on the 5th. So I guess they're going to be tried separately. Um, yeah, December 5th in Davenport. So yeah, that was just like a story that kind of popped out to me. I wanted to get time to at least talk about it a little bit. Obviously you're not getting the full coverage here, but hey, it's something, right? You can, if you want to pursue it. Oh yeah, did I say that was from the Guardian, right? I got it from the Guardian. This is, it's pretty good. Let's see. ABC News. Oh my God, my computer's being annoying to me. Okay. CVS Walgreens agreed to $10 billion opioid settlement. So this is kind of, additional fallout from, because I know we talked about the Sacklers, they had an agreement. That was a big settlement. Now, CVS and Walgreens, this isn't mentioned in the article, but I've heard that Walmart had agreed to settling up some money to some extent. I didn't research it enough, but I know they aren't necessarily involved in this one. This is just more or less focused on them. But CVS agreed to $5 billion, and then Walgreens agreed to 4.95 billion, and more, and it's also to be paid over 15 years. And let's see, I'm trying to think if there's a difference in the CVS one. Yeah, it's over 15 years. Now, in this settlement, they are paying out the money, but they aren't agreeing to any like fault or anything like that. It's not an apology or any sort like that. Also, I mean, when this money trickles out to the actual people, it's going to actually, benefit, who, put this trial into motion. Obviously, it's not going to be $1 billion number. Let's see here. Let's see, about $130 million we paid to tribes, according to the Wednesday statement. CVS's payments would include 4.9 billion to be paid to states, cities, counties, and other political plaintiffs. So it's just a trickle down of money, paid out over time, more or less. Over how opioids, especially in the 90s and stuff, were just so rampant. The prescriptions were just way too much, and places like CVS and Walgreens were prescribing them. At the end of the day, they were the last line of defense before they go to the patient and say, hey, because that's one of those things where it's like, in any given time, if a pharmacist goes, this isn't right, like something's wrong here, we should talk about this. They have the right to do that, but when everything's standard operating procedure, you just don't do that, and that was the standard operating procedure. So people are allowed to have these high doses of an opioid, to treat their injuries, treat their problems. Things can spiral out of control. Next thing you know, you can't afford it. Next thing you know, oh, well, we're finally going to fix this issue. Well, I can't go, and get this absurd prescription that I used to have filled and, use or whatever. Okay, great. So I guess I'm going to do what? You spiral out. You wind up on the streets doing whatever you can to supplement that. That's just, a rough float example I'm just giving you there. But there's a reason that these numbers are high. There's a reason that there's so many people who have to be held accountable. So good that at least there's some number being paid. I think that it should go further, and that these guys should say sorry. Fuck it. You should have your hands a little dirty on this legally. But whatever. It is what it is. That's where I got that from. Yeah, it was ABC News. This one is from Yahoo News and also NBC News. We'll just hop in broadcasts. Nationwide catalytic converter theft ring made hundreds of millions of dollars, Feds say. Now, clap your hands if you've had your catalytic converter stolen. I've had mine stolen at least 2 times. That shit fucking sucks. For people who haven't had their catalytic converter stolen, let me tell you how it feels. Let me tell you what's going on here. Essentially, you go to your car because it's not a really noticeable thing that's been stolen. It's essentially a thing in your undercarriage. Now, don't get me wrong. If you know what a catalytic converter is, it's like this long pipe-like thing. Different apparatus is attached to it, like 2 or something like that, gasket thingies. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. Sorry. But essentially, this whole thing can get stolen, or like a piece of it that's the most important can get stolen, and it'll get farmed for money. And you can go, because like I said, usually it's the small cut that's the issue, because they just take the most expensive piece, the people who are stealing it, and that'll make them enough money to get them what they want, whatever. But I mean, essentially, you can take the whole thing if you got to take it, just to make it quick cut and then go, and you can get it all harvested. Once again, you're a mechanic. Let me know how wrong I am here. But essentially, catalytic, victim. You get in your car and you start it and you go, and it's just making the most awful sound. The most awful of sounds. Now the catalytic converter is like something that is used to like help with pollution, the way it's made, like the pieces of it. I know it's got I think platinum and palladium in it. It's listed in the article, but I'm in the weeds here a little bit. Anyway, so I'm driving, and it's just making this awful sound. It is so strange. It's so scary the first time this happens to you, and you go and you get it taken in, and your mechanic tells you got your catalytic converter taken, and it's like, what? Like, what is that? Like some Star Wars piece? Like, no, it's something that is something that's part of your car, part of its filtration, yada. And that's why your car sounds so weird, because it was cut out. And I think for me at the time, and I'm sure there's people, once again, mechanic heads or whoever, and they're like, oh, you got scammed, so much money. I think for me it was maybe like 700 the first time and like 1,000 or so the second time. Is a lot of money. Maybe my teenage brain is messing it up, but that shit was a lot. It's not cheap. You can do it if you have a cool mechanic. They'll do like a straight pipe thing or something like that, I think it's called. But essentially they just kind of weld it or whatever, and it's like cool. Don't do that. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying it can be done, and it's not so expensive. And it's much cheaper. But yeah, let's get into it. Sorry. There was a whole ring that has been going around and buying stolen catalytic converters. Thus, I mean, you're facilitating this, ramping it up. That's just making it worse. Um, let's see. Something I wanted to read parts of this. Agents raided a $1.7 million home in Holmdel, New Jersey, allegedly owned by one of the accused, Navin Levin Khanna. On his Instagram account, he posted a photo of a necklace with a pendant made to look like a catalytic converter. He could not be reached for comment. Um, so that's the picture that I have in the thumbnail. I thought that was like pretty fucking wild to be posting that kind of shit when you're literally in the racket. Like, that's crazy, dog. That's so brazen. I mean, allegedly, whatever. I don't know, but so I guess it's just like a whole ring that they, are putting the kibosh on. Geez, they reference the story though. In April, a deputy sheriff in Houston was shot and killed when he tried to stop thieves from stealing his converter. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Law enforcement officials said Wednesday they had seized numerous luxury cars as part of the investigation. Oh, here, yeah, that's what I wanted to read it for. A federal grand jury in the Northern District of Oklahoma charged 13 defendants with conspiracy to receive stolen catalytic converters, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and other related charges. Some of these defendants are accused of selling converters to the Kana operation. So, looks like it all went down from there. So yeah, I mean, sadly, there's not much ways to really like protect against it. Like, some cars are better off if they're like lifted up. It's kind of harder potentially. Or like they have like little guards, like steel box things you can put over the catalytic converter. Like, once again, the most important part, so that people are not they're not going to try to steal it, is because it's going to be harder to get or more noisy. But I mean, these little catalytic converter thieves, they mean with it. They slick with it. All right, I'm gonna do my little smoke break, and then we'll do our last one. It's gonna be sadly a little sad, but because I don't like to do the obit shit, but sometimes we gotta, and it's kind of like breaking news a little bit. So, whew. Ooh. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. All right. We're back. I got this from TMZ, but sadly, Aaron Carter passed away. I don't. Here they are. Aaron Carter, dead at 34. They're really so flat with the titles. Um, but let's see. Aaron's fiance, Melanie Martin, she tells TMZ, "My fiance, Aaron Carter, has passed away. I love Aaron with all my heart, and it's going to be a journey to raise my son without a father. Please respect the privacy of my family as we come to terms with the loss of someone we love greatly. We are still in the process of accepting this unfortunate reality. Your thoughts and prayers are greatly appreciated." Excuse me. Now, don't want to get too in the details here, but they found him at 11 a.m. on Saturday. He had drowned in a tub. It doesn't look like there's any signs of like foul play, but yeah, it's just sad news. Especially young, for reference, that's personal reference at least. That's 2 years older than me, so I mean, damn. Also, I don't know too. Like, I mean, I grew up on like pop music and hip hop music, whatever. Not saying that Aaron Carter's hip hop music. Don't let me get carried away here. I'm just saying in terms of like pop music was something I was listening to. So let's see. Yeah, I Want Candy is probably the most known from like the songs on the list. I totally forgot about That's How I Beat Shaq though. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's a crazy song. That's um yeah, I mean, Aaron Carter was definitely fun music. He had a very dynamic life. So yeah, flowers to him. Condolences to his family. But yeah, that's more or less the episode for today, rounding out the weekend there. Hopefully, you guys are going to have a good one today when you're listening to this, wherever. And hopefully, I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye bye. Mwah.